Good evening, ladybugs and yellow jackets. Welcome to this week's episode of FAE News here on FAE Productions. Back, I think, for actually technically the first time this month, we have made it. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Fairy Princess Lolly, and tonight I am here with Aladrin the Wildfire Druid, and Flora the Fairy, and StormiFae.
Hi.
And also there will be an Ion the Leprechaun, but he is having technical difficulties, I believe, with his interocitor there in the human world. So I have every confidence it will be sorted because he is, in fact, the human technological expert on So I think it's only a matter of time. Also, another thing that he is an expert in. But hey, how's it going, Erwina? I see you out there. Ingvi, I see you out there. Nice to see you guys. I'm so glad to have you with us. And of course, before we get started with everything, then I want to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, and tonight, as per the suggestion of Erwina, we are going to boo the bell, meaning boink. Ring the bell there on your YouTubes if you would like to receive future notifications of our shows. And also, I want to give a little shout out to our sponsor for today, which is, RennSearch. And RennSearch is actually a search engine. It's your online portal to all things Renaissance, medieval, Celtic, Fae, Viking, and so much more. They are a dedicated platform for anybody who works or sells in these genres, and it is a place to both find vendors and performers, as well as be found if you are one of those things. You can have your business or self listed on their website free of charge, and patrons or anyone who is supporting FAIR can find references and resources there as well. Their information, of course, is in the ticker and the low bar. They are here, actually local to the Pacific Northwest. So thank you so much for being a supporter of our show, RennSearch. And I think with that said, wow, it's been 3 weeks, I think, since we've had a show, basically the entire month. How are you guys doing?
Spooky.
You're doing, I'm spoopy, yay!
'Tis the season.
And Flora?
No sound.
Yeah, no. I was just gonna let her actually sit there and talk with no sound to see how long it took her to realize that we couldn't hear her.
She seems upset.
It's funny, I can't tell them because we still can't hear her for some reason. Even though I can't hear her. Can you guys hear her?
No.
It's probably a good thing because I feel like right there, Flora was just like.
Well, we can't hear you, but you look super cute.
You do. Your hair is all wavy and curly.
I like it. All the technical difficulties tonight.
I know.
It's a good night for not working. No.
Say it again. Say something again.
Nope.
No. She actually said something again, though. I could read her lips. I don't know. How come you're not working, Flora? Okay. We're going to try turning you off and on again.
That might be a good idea.
Right.
That's the human way of doing it. Turn it off and back on, right?
I discovered that also percussive maintenance works quite often as well.
Do not hit your computer.
What about blowing the cartridge?
No.
This is not legitimate technical advice.
It is. It works on the land dragon. Whenever the land dragon's eye gets all squinty and doesn't want to turn on, I just pop it in the eye, and it's like, oh. Yeah. It's observational even. It actually works. No, we're so quiet tonight, Flora. We need you. We need you. I know. I feel like what really needs to happen is we just clap for everybody. How about now, Flora?
Now?
Yay!
Ah!
I said you guys always ignore me, so it would have taken, or talked over me, so it would have taken me quite a long time to figure out that you guys couldn't hear me.
No.
Oh wow, man!
Not me.
Zing, Flora.
You're my partner in instigating.
Unseelie. I think we're the only Unseelie on here tonight.
Yeah, where's Morbid?
I'm
Haunted.
non-denominational.
Non-denominational. Morbid actually I don't think is going to be back with us until November because he has as a slua many haunts that he is off doing actually for this entire month. Yeah, so he is not going to be here. At least that's what my understanding is. I suppose if something were to crop up, then we will see him again. Hey, whoa, I see a whole bunch of people out there that have said hello. So hi everybody.
See all the hellos.
You want to see all the hellos? I should just go through them. Okay, here we go. One by one.
Yay!
Right?
All my friends are here.
Our only friends.
All my friends are heathens.
Only friends or only fans? I don't know. Only phase.
Only Faye.
Yes, no, so okay, so Flora, I want you to go first actually with things on the agenda because it's related to this weekend, which speaking of, this weekend is our Samhain Dumb Supper. We are having that at Rutledge Corn Maze in Olympia. I actually think I have a banner for this somewhere. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, I have it totally empty. Here's our poster preview. I'm not that prepared. I just got back approximately 24 hours, a little over 24 hours ago. Whatever.
Has anyone sent in coloring pages yet?
Yes. Anyway, before I move on to that,
No.
because that's actually on the agenda, yes, you have a little announcement, I think, to make about the potluck for this weekend, Flora.
Yes, please, if you're bringing a dish, please go fill out the little spreadsheet that I made and let us know what you were bringing. I think we...
Sorry.
What? See, I get talked over.
Stormy's so excited down there, just like, yeah.
I had to. I thought you'd appreciate it. It's your genre.
I always appreciate you.
Oh.
So yes, if you're going to bring some sort of snackies or spooky foods, let us know so we can get,
Let me see here. I think I've got the tiny URL for the response. And I know that we were talking earlier about what things people should bring. Do you have suggestions for people based on what has already been responded with?
We could definitely use maybe a spooky veggie tray. Always could use more than just a couple drinks. So if you want to bring, if anyone out there has ever heard of crock pot hot cocoa, they should definitely make that and bring it because I'm making biscottis and they are delicious.
How come we have apple cider instead of hot cocoa?
Both?
Ooh, that sounds delicious. I want apple cider.
But not in the same pot.
No, gross.
No. So
I mean, has anybody tried that?
Ew. You mean mixing them together? It's like the Halloween version of a graveyard drink from 7-Eleven. Gross. No, okay, so we have, you said a spooky veggie tray. Is that what you said?
Yeah, somebody should do a spooky veggie tray.
And crock pot, cocoa, or cider. And what else?
Oh,
I'm putting it in the notes for everybody that's watching.
So our main dish is going to be chicken, rotisserie chicken. Somebody's bringing meatball subs, like little spooky.
Yum.
Somebody else is bringing meat pies.
Yum. Delicious.
Whimsical Baddie's making cupcakes. I'm making biscotti. So we could definitely use some more desserts. Somebody needs to make me a death by chocolate cake.
Death by chocolate cake.
Or Dutch apple pie and bring some ice cream.
Apple
You have
pie
to call it something different.
But Dutch apple pie.
No-
not just
no
any Dutch.
pumpkin
Like,
pie?
it has to be the Dutch apple
Oh,
pie.
pumpkin pie sounds delicious. What about pumpkin pie?
I guess you could bring a pumpkin pie, but you have to bring like a whole can of whipped cream just for me.
If
My
you can
grandma
still
used-
see the
Sorry.
If you can still see the pumpkin pie, you are eating it wrong. It needs to
Exactly.
be completely encased in whipped
Yeah,
cream.
that's what I do. I sit there and frost the entire thing, and then I eat it.
My grandma would bring me my own canister every Thanksgiving for myself.
And it has to be the extra creamy, not the freezer ready whip. No,
It's
it
like
has
a
to
pup
be
cup
real
for
creamy.
Stormy.
It's worth the stomach ache.
What's a pup cup?
It's when you go to Starbucks and you have a pet and they give you a little cup of whipped cream and your pet licks it out of the cup.
I feel like I want to do a reverse of that somehow, right? Like drive to Starbucks, have Sissy in the car, get up there, ask for the pup cup, but instead for Sissy. But when it comes through, I'll just like give her the cream from my coffee and eat the pup cup.
Yes.
The whole cup.
The whole cup. Yes, I'll just put the whole thing in my mouth. That's how it's done, right? You can eat paper. It's safe.
It's safe. I've done that before.
So, I don't know. What other things would be good? I mean, because I know that I have not actually officially said that I was going to bring anything. So,
One of those fancy meat boards with the skeleton in the middle. Oh, haven't you seen where they wrap the skeleton with the meat so it looks like a meaty skeleton?
Oh,
and
I've
they put
seen
the little-
that, yes.
That's cool.
No.
A
but if you-
Halloween charcuterie board.
Yes, that word that I wasn't going to try to say.
Charcuterie sounds nice.
I thought it was charcuterie.
It's shark coochie board.
No.
Yes.
Don't say things I can't unsee, please. I mean, I'm just
Watch the Discovery Channel and
that's what I'm going to discover on the Discovery Channel is what a
I've seen some things I didn't ask for before on there. So,
Shark Week.
Shark Week.
No,
Week.
you were the one who was like, nope, I'm mischievous.
What?
You're
I don't
the
know
one
what
dressed
you're
like a
talking
devil. Woo!
I am not. I have antlers, not horns.
Wait,
Oh, the
Same
things
difference?
that we've discovered about you, right? That's just one of those things. If you really want to get on, if you really just want to get on his annoyed side, that's what we just.
I have to do?
They're not horns.
They're made of the same things.
The
No, they're
number?
not.
Are they bones then? Can they be
No,
bones?
horns. No, so horns are made out of calcium. Or no, sorry, they're made out of the stuff your fingernails are made out of, and tusks are made out of bones, and antlers are made out of fur. They're made
No,
out
they're
of stuff, same stuff. Yeah, no, that's why deers shed velvet. It's because it's made out of the same stuff your hair is made out of.
Stormy is like, look at this thing that I discovered
Collagen?
in the human world. It has the sum of all human
Creeps.
knowledge contained within,
no,
and
it
I
just
am going to
creeps me.
search it. Like the great librarian of Babylon that she is. We're going to find out what the difference is. Because the number of humans that mistook those antlers for horns when we were there at the age of chivalry was
Many immortal complimented my horns.
Yes. And then that was how we discovered that it is a pet peeve for you.
They're clearly antlers.
No, I think you have it reversed. Wait.
Or do I have it reversed?
Antlers are composed of bones, but they do shed annually. Horns grow throughout the life, and antlers grow from the tip. Horns grow from the base. But, yeah, horns are made of the same material as hair and fingernails on the outer portion and live bone on the inner core. What?
How does
Okay,
that work?
yes. So antlers are bone and horns are fingernails.
So weird. What?
How do they grow from the tip? Explain that to me.
I don't know. I don't want to Google that. I feel like find something I shouldn't. So the antlers, the antlers are an extension of the animal's skull. That's
So they are bone?
yeah. That's
Weird.
but they are definitely different than horns. So
Horns are covered in a tough coating of creatine, the same
Yeah.
substance that makes up human fingernails.
that.
I'm I'm just over here thinking how fascinating it is that if you chop someone's antlers off, you've got a piece of their skull.
Yeah.
Our leprechaun is having technical difficulties still.
No, that is so sad.
Why would somebody ask this? What? Somebody asked, are deer horns made of wood? Pardon me, person. Antlers are not a plant.
I propose that bones are merely human wood.
I could get behind that.
Organic wood.
Mhm.
Or
It
You
is
can
not
burn wood.
it's really not 8:30 yet, and I don't think we should talking about how bones are human wood.
You're the one that said it.
I
No, I didn't say it first.
You implied it.
I didn't.
Madam.
It was all Aladrin.
I take no responsibility for what's happening.
I take all of it.
Okay, so I
Anyway.
guess moving on from that, I suppose the next thing I have on our agenda, which if you could just imagine, is right here in my hands. Oh gosh, I'm missing everybody. So it's the coloring contest, you guys. If you go to our Patreon, it is open to everybody. You have basically 1 week to get your coloring pages in. It's there for you to download. It's the black and white line version of this year's Samhain Supper poster. And just go download it, color it in, and then email a copy. And next week on the show, we will be voting on who the winner is for the coloring contest for our Cyber Samhain. Speaking of, since next week is the 26th, I suppose I was thinking we should all dress up next week. What do you think?
Yes.
I dressed up this week because I won't be able to make it.
No, it's so sad. You'll have to send us a picture of what you look like. That way we can at least, put you up.
I would, but apparently all my relatives want to come in that day, I guess. So
Tell them to go away.
I need to see them.
She needs Count Morbid for that. He's the expert in telling people to go away.
Go away.
I know. Who's going to do that at the end of the show? It's kind of sad. We don't have him for that.
Me.
What?
I do it. Me.
You're going to do it? You're taking over Morbid duties?
Yes.
All right. Then we will leave it to you.
I have shape-shifted as him before.
I know. It was actually you. I dare say possibly you were prettier than Count Morbid. Don't tell him I said that.
He's
not here. He's not here to tell me I can't say it. So
He gets very offended when you imply that he's not sexy doing things.
I tried
he's
to
not
convince
the
him.
prettiest.
I tried to convince him to cosplay me next, but he said he wasn't willing to wear a crop top. So I guess.
Wow.
That is absolutely untrue. I have seen him in one.
I need
You have pictures?
pictures.
Actually, quite possibly.
Well, he's gone. This is what happens. This is what happens. You shouldn't leave.
This is the new article segment as we just look at Count Morbid's
Embarrassing.
pictures.
Morbid.
We should put it to a vote. Either we look at 2 articles or we look at Count Morbid's old photos.
Well, we have time till articles. We still have our author that is waiting in the wings.
Oh, for
come in.
sure.
Yes. So, speaking of which, we probably should get to, because it does mean I need to do the drawing actually for this week. But I also do want to give a very specific shout out and congratulations to your kingdom, Stormy, the kingdom of Pacifica, for you guys having your brand new queen, Her Majesty Sunny Yonella.
Yeah.
And I really want to just congratulate everybody down there and the Fabled Fae for achieving their official status as a guild at the age of chivalry.
Yay.
So I think you guys all have worked very hard for that. The past few years. So I'm very excited, and I'm glad that I was there on the weekend that all of the official things.
I'm so sad I couldn't be, but
We missed you.
It's okay. I'm saving up for my plane flight for Pirate Fest and Ren Fair.
Yay! So perhaps we will see you in what, May? Is Pirate Fest in May?
I think so, yeah. May.
I think so too. Yay! Oh, look at all your beautiful sunflowers. You vote for the majority. Yes. Okay. So I guess with that said, I do actually have our Wheel of Wind prepared.
March.
I believe that. Woohoo!
It's in March, not May. They both have limbs, so I don't know.
Oh, I don't think we have anything planned for March. So
Yeah, my birthday.
Your birthday's in March?
The end of March, March 28th.
Then you should come too. Let us celebrate you with the guild.
You can do things now.
Yay! That might be something that we will have to discuss and see where that can go. Let's see. I am looking for where's my sharing button?
It is the first week of March.
Is this my sharing button? Hey, it is. The first week of March is 2 weeks after our last event in February. Well, Fairy Light, and then the Dark Fairy Ball, and then I think a week off, and then my calendar is not turned that far forward yet, so yes.
Someone has requested you come, Flora. You must come to the fair.
All right.
Look, she's so excited about it. Okay.
All right.
I'm actually ridiculously excited about everything.
It's pretty fun.
I'm wearing your earrings, Flora.
What?
I am. Well, one of them. The other one is not. Like.
Well,
But
you say that now that you're all small.
No, I will show them when it's time to read your sponsor blurb. You're a second sponsor. So when I figured I would show them off. So, okay. So here is the Wheel of Wind, you guys, and it is for the cool sculpture by Brooke Ducker Arts. I think it was a little pumpkin sculpture with like the sideways teeth and little air plant for the hair.
Gordon the Gourd?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yes. If I recall correctly. Let's see. Here we go. So
when you win the giveaway, you can name him whatever you like.
That is true. All right, so here we go. And I'm sad that I can't enter. I would love to have a creature. So, congratulations, you are the winner. Hooray, thank you so much. You left a comment on YouTube with your name, and so you got onto the wheel. That is most excellent. The other 2 ways to get on the wheel, I guess we'll get to that part in a minute. So, with that said, though, I am going to bring in today's author. And I see you down there. Thank you so much for waiting patiently. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
You are most welcome. So I think this is your first time on our show. So please, if you will, introduce yourself to the audience and tell us who you are.
Uh-oh.
And what kind of food you like.
Okay.
No, what kind of book she writes.
If you want to know, I will tell you both.
Yes, we do.
So I am Elizabeth Guizzetti, and I am an author and illustrator. I write primarily vampire books in the Paperflower Consortium universe, which is the universe I made up. And so I'll be reading from something from that tonight. And then just because what Stormy said, my favorite food is pecan pie.
Something that would kill me. Okay.
I love pecan pie. If somebody wants to bring that to Dumb Supper this weekend, I will not cry. I will eat it.
I will not cry.
I mean, what can I say? So, okay, so you write vampire fiction, and how horror is your vampire fiction versus like I like on a scale of
1 to 4.
I guess like on a scale of like Nosferatu to Twilight. Like
on a scale of Silent Hill to Twilight.
That's better because I wouldn't say Nosferatu's all that scary.
Not.
Oh, I mean, but it's such a classic, and I suppose in the 1920s it was probably scary.
Fair enough.
True. I would say I'm probably in the middle somewhere. I'm definitely as scary as Interview with a Vampire-esque.
Ooh.
I write stories about vampires without a human narrator. So it's their problems. Yes, occasionally they eat people. It totally depends on the vampire. Sometimes, they eat people and sometimes they don't. And so it just depends. But mostly they're, horror family dramas.
Nice.
I'm just imagining the vampire family. Can you imagine a family feud in a vampire family? Because they just live forever. So that one fight that you had with your brother back in 1752 still isn't over.
That's funny.
Longest
grudges ever.
Right? So you are these all then in a series?
So they're all in more of a universe. They're I actually started with a story about a vampire buying a house in Seattle.
I love it.
Are we in your locale?
Yes.
I found her at the vampire market at the garden festival.
Oh.
We were next door neighbors.
Yeah.
I looked at your books actually with my own
I
physical
have
hands.
one, but it's not with me.
My spider's named after a vampire. I have a spider now, by the way, guys.
Okay. I had a spider take a marathon run at me when I was down at the age of chivalry.
Did you?
I mean, it was like, it was so big. It was like this big, and it was a baby. That thing was a baby spider. I thought it might have been a baby tarantula.
It was very upset that we were taking it home.
I mean,
oh look, a vendor.
Sorry.
Sorry.
A vendor? That's an author.
Author.
An author sells books and so is kind of like a vendor.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
look,
Still a
let's
vendor.
get back on topic.
I mean, if I'm at an event, I'm a vendor too.
Why did you settle on vampire?
Well, so I used to write science fiction, and then I also write comics. And I needed a break, which is why I wrote the vampire story. And then people really liked it. And when people tell me they like my books, I tend to write more of them.
Of course.
And so they liked Immortal House really well. And then they wanted stories about Norma, who was a character in Immortal House. And so then I started writing books about her. And in fact, that's something I'll read tonight. And then I started writing about the other vampires in like Norma's family, and because that's what people ask me for.
Cater to
Yeah,
I really
honestly,
like
when my
that.
fans ask me for something, I am just a total sucker. I'll probably start doing it.
I feel like
When I
that's the
started
best way.
podcast over the pandemic, at that point I was really getting information about what people wanted, and so I just started writing a bunch of short stories.
I feel that is the best way to make content, is if you have a fan base, like, ask them what they want. If you want to sell stuff to them, like,
right?
What do they want? I feel like a lot of big companies and big writers and things like this, they just kind of don't really care what their fans want. They kind of just want to be like, I'm gonna write whatever, and then if you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't.
Well, there's a little bit of that anyway, though, no matter what you write, because I know I'm not going to please everyone.
Sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
So obviously I write what I like, but also the people who like what I write tend to like what I like.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But I definitely do listen to what my fans say, and I really do care what they say. I was super excited for the book that I'm going to read tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Because people wanted to read it. And so I was super excited to put it out.
Well, what book, speaking of that, then, will you be reading to us? Can you tell us about that and give us a little synopsis before we dive in?
I certainly can. It is Accident Among Vampires, or What Would Dracula Do?
Accident Among Vampires.
It is the story of how Norma, in 1951, became a vampire. Her progenitor was doing science experiments on humans, and he did not mean to change her.
Oops.
She was way too young to be a vampire. She is 14. And so most of the book is about her and what existence is now that she is a vampire.
Cool.
And okay, and so this is what you're going to be reading to us from here in just a second. And just so everybody knows out there watching, if you have not joined us and heard an author reading before, I'm going to shortly here turn over the entire screen to Elizabeth for the reading of Accident Among Vampires. And while Elizabeth is reading, if you have questions or things that you would like to ask, just drop them into the comments. And when Elizabeth is done, we will then pose those questions, and and then we will find out what this week's giveaway is. So I guess with that said, are you ready to read, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Perfect. Then I will put all of us on mute except for you, and here is the screen for you. Whee!
So I will just start on chapter 1. June 21st, 1951. Dear Diary, the last night of my life, I felt more alive than I ever had in my 14 years. The stars twinkled above the grassy field outside Issaquah, and the air was perfumed with summer grasses, pine, and fruit trees. Careful I didn't interrupt Janice and Perry or Betty and Matt, I slowed my pace to let Teddy catch me. Every inch of skin felt alive as he squeezed my wrist, and he playfully pulled me close, and his lips tasted of beer and Wrigley's Doublemint gum as they brushed against mine. I wanted to kiss Teddy forever. Still, our lips parted. I giggled and darted away like the other girls did. The girls ran and the boys gave chase, so I did the same. After all, one had to be careful not to ruin one's reputation. And then icy fingers too big to be Teddy's gripped my arms. Oh, the fuzz. The sheriff would call Mom. I'd had a few sips of beer and smoked, but I wasn't Blitz. So at worst, Mom would be very disappointed in me and give me extra chores. My feet lifted from the ground and went bit into the bare flesh of my arms, legs, and face. Branches whipped past me in frenzied movement. Nothing made logical sense. I seemed to fly underneath the dark shape which held me. And I was dropped onto the concrete floor of somewhere cold that smelled of rotting meat and filth, and a vampire's fangs loomed in front of me. Vampires are not supposed to be real. I screamed and struck my assailant with my flashlight, and his pale lips split open and quickly stitched back together. He yanked the flashlight from my hand, and I protected my throat with my arms, because in the movies, vampires always bite people in the throat. He punched me. Dazed, I fell backward onto a metal table, and he lifted me onto it and rolled me over, and I spotted the pit of half-filled with rotting bodies sprinkled with lime. Their mottled flesh twisted in bizarre angles. Cloudy eyes stared at the ceiling, and wild with terror, I kicked out. I felt air. I kicked again and again, and I connected at least once. He grunted and leaned one hand on my back, pressing me into the metal. And with the other hand, he ripped off my shoe and bobby sock. His fang pierced my heel. And when he opened his mouth, he whispered something about Achilles. I tried to lift myself off the metal slab, but the vampire had me pinned, and cold leached through my summer blouse, and my muscles spasmed. The barn spun. Darkness. No, Mom will wake up, and I won't be home. I'll be a rotting body. He loosened his grip to check his stopwatch, and I twisted, and with my free leg, I kicked the vampire as hard as I could. Freed but lightheaded, I sat and elbowed him in the chest. Agonizing pain radiated into my arm, but ignoring the throbbing, I punched him in his mouth, maybe his nose. Blood sprayed onto my face. My eyes teared, burning with his fiery blood, and my lips tasted like copper. And the vampire grabbed me, and with one final burst of strength, I lunged and clamped my teeth into his hand. Salty, syrupy blood coated my mouth. And I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because these are diary entries. And so you get Bill's journal next. But I'm going to read Norma's part. Dear Diary, I'm not sure if it's possible to describe my transformation well enough to make sense, but I'll try. My ears were filled with cracking and snapping as Bill crushed my bones. And unable to breathe, I felt a strange autonomy. I didn't know where I was. I tasted something salty on my lips, and wet grass stuck to my legs, and my open hands grasped for something solid but touched slimy, bloody wetness. And I felt the presence of people all around me, but I couldn't see them. And beyond, I saw an abyss. Unlike the pit in the barn, this one held the final soothing ancient death. But something encircled me and slithered through my pores into my bloodstream, and wanting to find my way home, I edged past. But the mist thickened and coated my skin like sheen of sweat. And salt turned to blood on my lips, and the vapor darkened and grew colder. And then a muscular man with pale skin, black hair, and green eyes appeared. He wasn't very tall for a man, only a hand or so taller than me. But he radiated ancient authority, and he seemed more real than the other presence. Is closer. And he chuckled and said something in a thick accent. Americans. And then something else in foreign language. And then he disappeared, and dragging my palms through wetness, I felt my way back to my corpse. And then on the same night, I will read the part so you know what's happening in the bloodline. Memory of Agatha. Tonight began in the regular way. Jacob and I made love in the early evening, and I drank from Marlene. She was delicious, but I worry about her calcium levels. A woman her age ought to protect her bones. Jacob drank from Edward, and he did not sense any deficiencies. I continue to offer supportive care for Xiao's enthralled human, and the red rash remains on her flushed cheeks, but she is on the mend. Still, it is best she remains in the infirmary, lest she passes the measles to another human. I fear remembering how past epidemics have harmed our enthralled human population, and tonight I thank God that we live in an age of sanitary plumbing and prayed that scientists would soon discover inoculations for measles and polio. But at 11:36, dizziness overtook me as I experienced the expansion of my bloodline. I recognized the sensation, but I've never felt intense throbbing behind my eyes. Worse, I could not see down the bloodline. Whatever was happening was wrong. And I immediately thought, what has William done? No, I shall not make assumptions. Yet in my heart I knew. And I hurried to the credit union. And Jacob informed me that at the first surge of pain, he endeavored to witness the rebirth. However, a minor twinge behind his eyes quickly became as debilitating as a migraine. And then Mrs. Torres hurried past the open door to Jacob's office and then stopped. Lady Agatha, please come. Mr. Miller is sick. He has fainted. And so I said to her, would you be obliged to bring in the service, please? Because now there could be no doubt of which of my children had sinned against the coven. Because Derek had one offspring, William. And we found Derek face down on the floor, a box of matchsticks beside him. And the intermittent breeze from his electric fan shuffled his papers, but was not cool enough to make the summer warmth leave the office. And Jacob knelt and pulled him into a sitting position and helped him out of his jacket. And Derek fumbled for his matchsticks. And Jacob clenched his jaw because he loathed beholding weakness in his sons. But the small box comforts Derek and doesn't harm anyone else. In the reception, it sounded like Mrs. Torres pounded the china cups on top of the saucers, and blood sloshed into the cups as if it had already coagulated. And she brought in the blood service and left. The blood appeared fresh, but I didn't dare drink, fearing I'd vomit. But I did press a cup to Derek's lips. And when able, Derek explained how he was filling out a client's paperwork when he was overcome by melancholy. He didn't usually celebrate his death night. He was so sad that William had not called. And dear heavens, I wish Jacob and I had remembered Derek's 100th death night. A century of existence is something to celebrate after all. And then Derek went on to explain. My eyes blurred and my fingers slipped between the typewriter's E, R, and D keys, and my cuticle ripped. And he had brought his finger to his mouth and tasted the hint of blood as it healed. And he further explained how, overcome by dizziness, his heart fluttered in panic, and to comfort himself, he held his matchboxes. And then he clasped his hand to his chest, and if he wasn't a vampire, he would have thought he was experiencing a heart attack. William created another vampire, and the death was a painful one, which is why you're in such pain, I told him. And the normally steady gaze fell away, and Derek pinched a tear away before it fell. The night grows late, Jacob said. If the man is content as a vampire and eager to attend initiation classes, we shall adopt him into the coven, I said. You shan't cast Bill out, Lady Agatha, Derek said. My heart broke for Derek, but no good comes from edging the truth. Until proven otherwise, the coven shall assume this was just a carnal embrace gone awry. If nothing happened more than panic over a broken condom or another accident, I see no reason to exile William or the new vampire. And I shall stop there.
Give me just 1 second. Sorry about that. To bring
Oh,
us
no problem.
together here. All right. Well, thank you so much for reading there. I like the modernity of it. The vampires going to the credit union. I don't know. I guess I kind of like things that are set in modern time because, well, everything is always old timey's, right?
Well, for my books, some of them are old timey.
Well, it started in the 50s. That's not that long ago.
This one's set in the 50s, but like I wrote one that's set in 1509 too. Because that's when Agatha was reborn.
I'm curious, like, how much of classic vampire lore do you keep versus alter or just completely disregard and replace with your own?
I always at least nod to vampire lore, but I don't always like, especially when I do the podcast, I talk about vampire lore all the time and how it's sort of right. Like there's a little truth in it, and the rest of it is completely silly. Like, and part of it's like, do vampires only drink blood? Well, no, we could eat meat too, or things like that. And then like, can they cross moving water? And then the answer is, well, if there's a bridge or a boat, or they know how to swim. Like, Laura was a modern girl, so she knows how to swim. She grew up in Issaquah and then eventually goes to Seattle. Like, obviously, this kid knows how to swim.
What about
like that? Can vampires cross moving water? Well, if you chuck them into the river, they're probably going to get carried away by the current. The answer is no. But if you build a bridge, like everyone else, over they go.
Well, and obviously not obviously. There's vampires who came to Seattle, so they came from somewhere. And that means there's a giant ocean between them.
what about garlic?
The answer to garlic, which I actually answered in Paperflower Consortium, the Vampires Paperflower Consortium, was there was probably some vampires allergic to garlic. And so people just assumed all vampires are allergic to garlic.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I like the idea of vampires having allergies. They're just out there in the middle of summer, like, fever, you know?
Why is there so much powder in the air this year?
Perhaps that's why they often stay in their mansions for centuries.
They're allergic to everything.
What's me?
So, is there a piece of vampire lore that you have found to be either like true or untrue in your studies of actual vampire lore versus like what popular belief is about it?
Within my universe, or actually true?
Actually true. And then, like, what do you do with it in your universe, if anything?
Okay. So I don't know how actually true any of this is, but I would say this. There is lots of ways to kill vampires, which actually all kill humans too. So if someone was a vampire and they were burned at the stake, well, guess what? They could have been human. If they were a vampire and someone put rocks in their mouth so they couldn't close their mouth, or even if they were already dead and buried them that way, well, they didn't rise. And if you stake them to the ground, they're definitely not going to rise. So I find that those things are used both in the book but also in vampire lore in general, right? Anything that can kill a vampire absolutely kills humans. I mean, you can sit in the sun long enough and then die of exposure. So my vampires are allergic to the sun because otherwise they're just too powerful.
Yeah.
They have to have some kind of flaw, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think all those are interesting. Like all the stories are really interesting. I also, allergies are a thing for my vampires, but not every vampire is allergic to everything.
Okay.
It's the same with the garlic, where you see it in bloodlines most of all, though, where if like an old Roman myth of vampires is about how vampires are allergic to silver. Mm-hmm. Well, the vampires that were in Rome and then had children, which Norma is one of them, are allergic to silver.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Like I mix the myths a little bit with, but also you shouldn't eat silver. And if someone burns your mouth with molten silver, I mean, whether you're a vampire or human, your mouth is going to burn.
Yeah. It's funny how humans came up with such clever ways to kill other humans.
I have a joke. How long does it take a vampire to drown?
Actually, there's a podcast episode about that, and they don't drown. I should say they drowned multiple times.
Oh. So there's
a whole podcast episode about how this one vampire, well, I mean, he had an adult relationship with a sailor on the ship, but he bit him one night too hard, and so the other sailor threw him off.
Oh.
So he walked to America.
While drowning over and over.
He drowned several times because he would eventually come up, the water would be released from his body, and then he would have to drop again because the sun, and he drowned multiple times.
Oh my gosh, that sounds horrible.
Oh, well, I did say this was a horror series.
Fair.
And just to clarify, like he's feeling that pain and reliving that experience again and again?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that sounds joyous. That wonderful walk to America, yes.
Yeah, it was a terror. And he got lost. Like it took him longer than just someone swimming because he kept getting lost. The bottom of the ocean is, well, especially then, no one knew what it looked like.
Well, right.
So he was just wandering around.
Well, and there's like no way to really tell where you are, right? You don't have any stars to guide you. It's not as if people are like, oh yes, and at the coral reef, turn left, Yeah. straight on till morning or whatever.
When you reach the Marianas Trench, remember to go right.
So let's see. How would he even know which way was west and east?
Well, the thing is, Marcus didn't.
He was wandering around the bottom of the ocean until something happened. So did he not have the ability to swim?
No, the problem was that he could swim somewhat, but the sun would pierce the water, so he would have to go deeper. And then after he drowned, he just found it easier to walk. Like, he did run into some sea serpents and mer people, but they didn't really, he just he got nervous, so he stayed away from them.
Does he answer the question for us once and all about whether or not Nessie is real?
Yes.
In universe, yes.
In universe,
answer the question for you.
Hooray! I love Nessie. Nessie is my favorite cryptid. There was a question I had that was related to this whole drowning vampire business. I don't remember what it was though. So, so you guys I'm going to give you a chance. If there's any more questions from the audience, now is the time to get them in. And then also we need a magic word for this week's giveaway. So I do have a question for you, Elizabeth, before we talk about the giveaway. Just if you were to recommend a good starting book for what you've written, where is a good place for viewers to start?
Okay. Well, if you like history, start with Honor Among Vampires, because that really starts with the bloodline of Agatha, which are all the vampires are in. But if you like more things that are set in modern times, then you'd want to really start like at Immortal House, which is the first book I wrote. And especially if you like comedies, because it's actually a comedy.
Comedy horror.
Yes, it's a comedy horror.
Comedy horror.
I like comedy horror.
I like comedy horrors. They're awesome.
Yes, Lawrence is eating people, but it's always hard to find a house in Seattle. The book said 2018, by the way.
I'm not sure I understand this question exactly. I wonder if immortality is just an increase in the odds of being trapped forever. Eventually, you might live long enough to not be able to escape.
Well, yes, I think I understand the question. And I think it has a little bit to do because we started talking about like drowning vampires and stuff.
Right.
So I think the question is saying like in immortality, there's going to be dangers. Or even in any life, right? But as a vampire, because they don't die, if there's nothing to kill you and you're trapped in a deep, dark hole or something like that, and then the sun can't kill you and there's no silver or something you're allergic to kill you, then you would just be stuck. I think that's what they're saying. To answer your question, yes, that is very true. However, most vampires live in covens. In my universe, most vampires live in covens. And so, like, if Norma didn't come home, not like every night or anything, but, if it'd been a couple weeks and I mean, like, today, and, or she didn't call her vampire grandpa, he'd start going out and looking for her. And her vampire great-grandpa and vampire uncle are both clairvoyants, so they could find her in the bloodline. Nice. And then they would rescue her.
Clairvoyant vampire. Makes sense.
Unless they're really ticked off, I guess. But that's why people have friends and family. Well, vampires do too.
There was a movie about immortals where the church was trying to kill these immortal beings for like decades, and they eventually settled on, we're just going to put you in an iron coffin and just drop you into the ocean where you'll wake up, drown, and then do that over and over and over for all eternity, essentially. And then they eventually like go so insane that it's basically death because you're no longer conscious of anything anymore.
Until someone comes along and wakes you up. I mean, can you imagine the PTSD on that vampire, right?
Yeah.
That's yikes.
Yeah. That's a horror movie in itself right there. Yep.
Right.
Again, like, is that even living anymore if you're that crazy? Like,
True.
Well,
vampires could choose suicide. Many movies they do.
That's true.
That is true. The idea of just like reliving something over and over and over is kind of terrifying, to be honest. Like, once isn't good enough. Just gonna have to re-die every single day.
Oh my god.
Kind of Sisyphus style, right? Okay, so the giveaway for this week then is going to be Elizabeth.
It'll be a copy of the book I just started reading to you.
Yay!
I don't know which book it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be.
It'll be Accident Among Vampires or What Would Dracula Do? And even though I said like Immortal House is a great place to start, don't worry about where to start because they're all the stories of the individual vampire. So though there is nothing you need to know about the vampire family other than like Norma tells you as she meets them. So don't worry if you don't, that it's not like the first book or anything like that.
Cool.
Very cool. So a copy of the accident. Oh no, I'm trying to remember the whole name.
Accident Among Vampires, or What Would Dracula Do?
Thank you. Because I was like, oh no, that's a really long name, and now I don't remember it. So yes, a copy of Accident Among Vampires. Is it going to be signed for the winner?
Yes, it will be signed, and it'll have a joke in the front because even though this is a serious book, I always sign with a joke.
Well, you did say it was comedy horror, so that seems to fall in line with it. All right, you guys, that means we need magic word suggestions in the comments. So it is Accident Among Vampires or What Would Dracula Do? Dracula. What would Dracula do?
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
That's kind of what came out of my face. I know. I'm just, and Phoenix, what's going on with you tonight? You're over there like, oh, I expect your voice to be somehow. There's no Ion to have the timer.
I mean, I could definitely do a voice if you'd like me to do a voice. I am living in the shadows at the moment,
Okay,
preoccupied in the darkness of my lair.
I have a timer right here. This is how long you guys have. I don't know how long this timer is. But I think we're gonna find out.
Oh my god!
It's like a 10-minute
half
timer.
an hour.
Wow, that's any more ideas, guys? It's been 45 minutes. No, this is actually part of my new den that I'm living in, but right now things are kind of almost complete. So this is what we have for this evening. I kind of look like that cool techno DJ that's just sitting in the back. Like, hey, you everybody ready to rock tonight?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay, so this is definitely a longer timer than the one Ion normally does. I'm pretty sure that it is. But I don't know how long it actually is. Maybe it'll just have to be done in halvesies. This is why time just doesn't. This is why I'm always late or like so early that it's like an entire new day's worth of early.
Why?
Because I never
Time
can do
hates
time
her.
right.
We just rearrange all of her
Time has a
clocks and
vendetta
things.
against you.
It really does. It really does. I don't like it very much. No, I just said I want Phoenix's voice to be like on one of those voice mods, right? So he can be like, when I moved into my new den. Right?
Witness protection.
Yeah.
He doesn't want the ghosts to recognize his voice though, so it's disguised. Right?
Oh yeah. Like when someone's trying to be all stealthy of, I don't want to give out my name, but I'm actually a member of blah, blah, blah. I saw all the in and outs that happened that one fiasco day on the date of da, 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 da. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. And then it just like pans away to like the extra part of the channel. And although this extra guest is able enough to tell us a little bit more detail, we can't go any further from there for fear of liability of blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I guess,
You're like describing the event, and then you accidentally give details away that tell everyone exactly who you are.
Yeah, like, oh, don't cut that part out. Edit that.
And I get eyes on that edit.
Okay, it's almost done. I guess we can call it. I have so many though. Like I have a bunch of little hourglasses in here. I'll try the other one next time. Okay, so it was close enough. I think maybe it's a 3-minute timer is what that one was. So here's what we've got for our suggestions. We've got, I think, starting. So accident and Fang Fam.
Big bang.
Bang bam. And I just will say, Elizabeth, by the way, you get to be the final arbiter, the final selector of what the magic word is. So let's see. ocean stroll. Little underwater oceanic stroll. Let's see. Rot row Draki.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Vampiric PSTD. Isn't it PTSD?
It would be PTSD.
Okay.
Oh,
And
there is a correction further down in the
Post-stress
chat.
traumatic disorder.
how about WWDD? What would Dracula do? Let's see. And Plasma Family. This one's kind of funny. Immortalish.
Mortalish.
That's funny.
And House Hunters Immortality. Immortality.
I'd watch that.
So I love that last one because I was seriously thinking of House Hunters when I wrote Immortal House.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a line in that book that says house hunting is not as much fun as watching it on HGTV.
Oh my goodness. No.
I
The
believe
house is
that.
beautiful, but what is the property value going to be like in 500 years?
Oh my god.
I mean, are you planning to make this a generational house? Yes. Yes, I
This is our
am.
forever home. Let's see. And then we have Dracula Drowning.
Oh.
And we have... was Drowned the Vamp supposed to be one of them? I don't know.
It was yes.
Yes.
Drowned in the vamp.
Drowned the Vamp. And then also Undersea Shenanigans. All right. So it is up to you, Elizabeth. Which one is your favorite?
I think my favorite is Fang Fam. It really works well with the book that I'm giving away. So
Bang, bang.
the Fang Fam one I thought was the best.
That's so funny because normally when I make posts on our Patreon, I refer to everybody as Fae Fam, F-A-E. Can we spell it F-A-E-N-G? Fam, Fang Fam.
Awesome.
Like get the double up there. Let's see. We can Fang Fam it is, and there you go. Fang Fam it is. So let me go find your guys' little banner and get that into the banner for all you all. Much happier than Burning Baby, which was last week. Well, I guess 3 weeks ago last week. What is time? It doesn't even matter. All right, so here we go.
I was not there for that one, but that sounds very interesting.
You kind of had to watch the show to understand how it was that conversation rolled us around to Burning Baby.
I still don't. I was there and I don't know how it rolled around.
I was like, oh man, this is what I have to put out there. All right, Burning Babies it is. So, yes, so this week's magic word is Fang Fam. For those of you who don't know, after the show, not on Twitch, not on Facebook, only on YouTube, please go to the comments section and enter the word Fang Fam in the comments, and you will receive an entry on the Wheel of Wind for next week for a copy of Accident Among Vampires, or What Would Dracula Do? And the other two ways to get entries are to join the Patreon and or join the YouTube for a maximum possible 3 entries, because if you join Patreon or YouTube, you will get automatically entered into every single drawing that we do. And then we will contact you if you win and you don't happen to be present. So, and then I think with all of that said, is there anything you would like to say to everybody before we let you go, Elizabeth?
I just want to thank everyone for letting me come on and read my book tonight. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on the show. What is your next show for coming up here that you're going to be vending at?
So I'll be at Grit City Comic Book Show this weekend at Artist Alley Table 51, and then I'll be at Geek Girl Con on Saturday, November 5th, which I will be sharing a table with Gretchen SB, who writes werewolves. So we'll be werewolves and vampires.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Sell your comic books that you were talking about?
Oh yeah, and I will be selling my comic books too.
Cool.
Would you guys like to see my latest?
Yes.
Yes. Show us really quick.
Okay. Really quick, this is my latest book. For Blood, Bones, and Biscuits, The Legends of Walnut Razorfang. This is a hard copy. You also have paperbacks.
It's what?
And it's just the story of a little dog who lives in Spokane and hears about a demon-cursed giant in Seattle, and so leaves her home to rescue her.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm totally serious.
Oh my god, I want a copy of that. That sounds amazing.
I just wasn't expecting that. After
For
what
the
you
simple
said.
fact that you're talking about Spokane, I want it just for that fact.
I know you're now in Phoenix's territory over there. So
Oh my god, you are? What?
no, I mean Elizabeth is.
Does anyone want to see the real Walnut Razorfang? Because she's under my desk right now.
Yeah, show
Yes.
the thing.
We love fur babies.
Oh.
Okay. This is the real one.
Oh.
Oh, I see. So you kept the original. I got you.
You kept the original.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did.
look, it's so cute.
Adorable. Mm.
That is the
And
best.
yeah, so she's anytime she hears me talking to people, whether it's a Zoom call or an interview like this and a reading like this, she comes and like hangs out.
He's like, I want to be here.
Yep, it has to be part of it.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will let you go, I guess, for the evening and doing all the reading and everything, and hopefully many sales to you, and good luck this weekend at your show.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Absolutely. Good night.
Good
Nice.
night.
Good night.
Pleasure meeting.
All right, so that was our author for the evening. Hooray! I'm excited. It kind of brings us around to our crazy, weird news portion of the show, and then, of course, before we jump in there, I cannot miss my opportunity to embarrass Flora just a
No.
little bit.
As long as
No.
you don't embiggen me, that's all right.
In Big and Magic.
Biggin.
I mean, I could. I mean,
Don't you? No, don't. At
Yes,
least I'm not that big.
Flora is our second sponsor of the evening. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Flora's Favors, located right here in the Kingdom of Storms on the Kitsap Peninsula. Flora makes a variety of embroidery items like quaint chicken zipper bags and cute felt tea bag bookmarks. Always happy to do free standard shipping within the US. Also custom laser engravings and wood art coming soon. And since I said I would do it, I will now actually embiggen myself so that you can see.
Free
And-
shipping on orders of
Yes.
$35 or more.
Can you
Oh,
see?
you got the ones. They're so
Yes.
Yes, I got the little
Oh,
guillotine earrings from Flora, and they have like it's such a shiny. Can you see it reflecting like it's a shiny little
Yeah.
mirror? Swing, swing. Yes,
it like a blade.
I know. It's awesome. I love it. So got the little guillotine earrings just as a sample of what Flora has the ability to do. Flora, is there anything you'd like to say since you're right here as one of our sponsors, like custom orders
Oh,
or?
come see me this Sunday
Hmm.
in Lacey at the Spooky Perk event thingy. I can pull it up and actually read it to see what it actually is called. I will be sharing a table with Birdland Art, who has been a vendor on here before.
Oh, cool.
Yes, this is the
I should have
Love-
sent this to you so you could have
something
pulled it.
love the producer.
Love Local.
Yeah, Love Local. That's what I'm trying to.
Where did it go? Oh, because I'm looking at screenshots.
Yes, Love Local in the city of Lacey proudly presents some cool thing in the park.
Spooky in the Park, food trucks, family fun, shop local businesses, Sunday, October 23rd, 2 to 6 p.m.
Perfect.
at the Lacey Depot Playground.
Well, you're going to be busy this weekend, so you have
I'm already
Samhain.
exhausted.
You're already. I'm pre-tired for this weekend. Okay, and so then with that said, this is the part where you guys all like talk amongst yourselves, and I go pick an article.
You know,
I
make
know.
us talk.
Well, I'm going to make you talk. I mean, oh my gosh, I burped. Excuse me. I'm not supposed to get distracted, but we'll see how well that actually works.
That's okay. I'm ready to talk anyway because I have something amazing to talk about. So, I kind of figured out something that was really, really interesting, which is that we should all do a, oh my God, did you freeze? That was like the weirdest freeze I ever saw. Y'all missed Lolly's face. Go back and watch that part of the episode, everybody. That was beautiful. Like, it straight up was just like horror. Like, okay, I guess I'm black, like completely black screen here, so you can't really see that, but it looked terrifying. Just take my word for it. Anyway, I was thinking, I was like, hey, we should all like do costumes on our next show. And I was like, oh wait, think about what you just said.
But we already decided that that's what was going to happen next
We
week.
can
We're all
do-
dressing up.
Yeah, extra costumes.
So does that mean we just wear a costume on top of what we already have? Because
Yeah, of
That,
course.
that
must
means
be
that we
interesting.
do human costumes,
You.
we
No,
dress
like-
up like humans. No,
like how humans celebrate the Halloweenies.
I like how Phoenix is like humans. No.
I'll just be average Joe. Yeah.
You.
I still really think that we all need to draw names and dress up as each other. Just saying.
Can I just be Morbid? I just wanna. I
It's
think
fun.
I'd make a great Morbid.
It was fun to be Morbid, not gonna lie.
We should all be morbid. Yeah.
Next
Wow.
week. No, we
I
have
know-
to choose
should
one that
not
he's
tell-
on. Like he'll
Yes,
just
we
come
should
back
not
on
tell
and-
him.
Yeah.
I
So now we all
Well,
have to hope he never goes back and watches this episode, and that nobody
He
tells
doesn't pay
him
attention even when he's on the
do
show.
this later.
Speaking of him not being here, do you have those pictures?
Oh,
Well,
In the crop top.
the crop top
We're
Morbid.
No.
not supposed to distract Wally from looking at articles.
But crop top Morbid.
yes, that does sound amazing. I want to see.
crop top.
He's looking at my Speedy's new home.
Oh, do you have a
Oh.
spider or something?
Yes, I adopted him off my fridge on Saturday.
What kind of spider is
He
he?
got more than he bargained for.
It's a jumping spider. It's a
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, I love jumping spiders. They make great pets.
I've been hyperfixating on them for over a year now, and then we moved out here and they were everywhere. So I was like, well, I'm gonna end up with one of them.
One of you will be made into friend. You have
Yep.
no choice. You shall be friend.
He is my friend now.
I shall call him Squishy, and he shall be mine. He shall
Then
be my
he shall
Squishy.
be my squishy.
I gave him a worm today, and he has been sucking on him for like hours, and his abdomen is so big. I'm worried he's gonna pop. You gonna pop? I named him. I wasn't sure if it was a boy or a girl, so at first I was calling him Marceline, but then I looked it up and found out it was a boy, so I named him Marshally.
Marshally, yeah. I love it. That's good. No, I first of all just in general love spiders, but jumping spiders, they have this intelligence. Like I think it's, and here's some actual factual information. They have 2 extra valves in their body from their heart, and they can choose to switch them on and off. One valve pumps extra blood to their eyes, and literally, if you look at one, you can see it change from black eye to how they have a green shine, and that's them pushing extra blood in so that they actually have like magnification vision to see where they're trying to jump to.
I
And then
knew
the
good vision, but I didn't know like that.
Yeah, and then the third valve or the extra valve at the back that they pump into gives the extra push into their legs so that they can make that springed jump as far as they go. Yeah,
Wild.
Yeah. and it's like you can see the intelligence on these creatures when you look at them, and they look up and you see, like I literally had this happen where they pump the green into their eyes so they can see. They pump their blood into their eyes, and they look at you, and then they back up, and then they kind of get closer again. They're like, that's actually a thing. That's a big thing like me that thinks and knows. You can see it. Yeah.
They'll recognize their owners and they'll actually get protective over them.
Oh, really?
That's adorable.
Yeah.
They're very protective of their space and people, apparently. You're their space. So
Yeah.
They're so cool.
That's great.
If you guys want to check on my Instagram, I'm gonna be posting videos about him, and I videoed him catching the worm tonight. Like, I was worried because it was bigger than him, and usually they eat stuff their size or smaller. I'm like, oh no, but no, like 2 seconds, he saw it, went up and just grabbed it, and it's all like flailing around above him, and he's just like not letting go. It was pretty
That's
funny.
great.
He's a good hunter, good eater. Just like me. I like eating.
That was like the cat-faced orb weavers that I kept posting for everyone.
Yes.
And so about yay big was there we go. About that big. She was kind of tiny, really. And then the actual grasshopper that I caught for her was like this long, but she still drug it up out of her web and up into her back nest so she could just still. And usually I could feed her once a day, but for 2 days she didn't move, and that's because I think like it was just big. She's like, I'm full. Nope, I'm good.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know how. I think it'll probably be good for a little bit because they said you can tell like when they need to eat by the size of the abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was super thin when I first got him. So I think that's why he was so chill. Because when I got him in a cup, and he just like looked up at me, like rubbed his face and just kind of looked up at me and looked around, like just kind of was chilling, like wasn't scared or anything. So I was like, you're probably really hungry and cold. So you're going to be my pet now and I'll feed you and you don't have to do anything.
It's like, I'm okay with this. Yeah. Wait, what? Free food, free rent? Yes, please.
For control, it's about to be winter.
Okay, I think I've got our first articles here.
Dang it! I thought you were gonna say you found Morbid.
No, no, we're gonna go with weird food things, and what?
Like bugs or weird food.
Bugs?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that, I suppose. So, number one, let's see. Snoop Dogg is apparently releasing his own breakfast cereal.
I love Snoop Dogg.
I just want to know if it's going to taste like Ganja Man.
Nah.
I'm just saying. So, Snoop Dogg is releasing his own breakfast cereal versus, so gross, Claminaise, a new clam-flavored mayonnaise. Has cheese fries hidden inside.
No, it doesn't.
You can not.
Yes, it does. So, if you would like to hear about Snoop Dogg's new cereal, press number 1. And if you would like to hear about Claminaise, press number 2. And here's the second timer. We're going to give this one a try instead. Like,
it might be a little shorter.
Yeah, as opposed to, I'm so sad. Like, I don't want to do the timer. I don't know. I mean,
you made a funny comment about based on eye position alone, we know that Cookie Monster is an ambush predator. I'm dead. No, Cobble Snoop is number 1.
I can't breathe.
No, Snoop is number 1.
Oh, that was great.
Alone with that. Thank you.
Why could I just see him running through a jungle right now? Just dun 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 dun. Cookie!
Eyes go flash. You catch him in the night.
They flash green. Yeah, just cookie.
This is gonna take forever.
Thank you for that.
Would it be copyright? Would it be copyright infringement to make that?
To do what?
No, there's fan art. You can totally fan art something like that.
Yep.
You just can't sell it.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, you can because a lot of people sell copyright stuff.
No one's gonna care. I guess I'm suspecting this timer is actually longer than the last one. Seriously, even though it's smaller in size, I think that the aperture for the sand
for sand distribution, yeah,
is quite a bit smaller because look, it's not even halfway done yet. No matter what I do, I can't get the time right. Ion, we need you.
Either way, I think number 2 is winning, unfortunately, and I don't want to hear about it.
I do have to say that I love the fact that even our druid here looked over real fast, like, what? When it came to the 2. It's like, what? Clam mayonnaise.
Some
It's just,
things were not meant to be mixed.
it's like clamato juice. Who wants clamato juice? No. You already ruined it by making tomato juice drink in the first place, right?
Wait a minute. I like tomato juice.
You would. It seems like something a princess would drink. I don't know.
She also
Yes.
likes black licorice. Let's not count on her taste.
I love black licorice.
I don't like chocolate. I like black
Oh.
licorice and tomato juice. Like
I'm sorry. I might have to unsubscribe.
my favorite candy are applets and cotlets.
I thought you were gonna say those circus peanuts.
Literally, that's my problem. Is I'll eat it. I like all candy, so even that circus peanuts, black licorice, I'll eat whatever. Is it candy?
So Stormy could have also applied to be the CEO of that Canadian candy company for like no, like they did. They had a chief candy tester. It was I don't think you were on the show that night.
Chief
But
candy tester.
yeah, they were paying them something like $75,000 a year or something just to taste test all of their candies. That was your official job, is to be the candy taster of a candy company.
I wish.
Diabetes.
Anybody could apply. You didn't have to live in Canada.
I
It
can't do the high fructose though.
Oh,
Not
that's
that much.
sadness.
I mean, I can have a little bit, but if
They did have a very good
Yeah, not a
dental
regular
package.
basis. I bet they did,
Really
yeah.
good dental plan.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see what we've got here. We've got one, two, 2 for 2, 3 for 2, 1 for 1, 4 for 2. Okay, so and then a changed one. Okay, so that's 2 for 1 and 3 for 2, which means that the disgusting sounding claminaise is still the winner.
I'll leave for this because I might too.
Because what?
I don't want to hear about it.
You don't. You just I'm sorry. That's what everybody voted on. What do you Stormy, are you trying to look as displeased as possible?
Yes.
No, she's trying to send a psychic signal out that makes you choose the different one.
Her face is trying to spoil.
Very unhappy. I need more water anyways. I'll be right.
Oh, it looks like
Ew.
water.
No.
Oh, from Cards Against Humanity.
Mm-mm.
Deliciously tangy mayonnaise made with real clams. So good. Let's see. Since its Kickstarter launch in 2010, Cards Against Humanity has grown into a nearly unavoidable phenomena. The easiest way to describe the fill-in-the-blank card game is as an adult humor spin on apples to apples.
I kick ass at that game.
It's amazing.
I think I've only ever played it once. Or tried
Oh,
to
I've
play
only
it.
played it once too.
Next
don't know.
non-children event when we can all get together, we should definitely play it.
Apples to
Yeah.
apples or Cards Against Humanity?
Cards Against Humanity. Why would I ever want to play apples to apples? When there's a better version out there. Like, come on now.
Let's see. Which shares a similar play mechanic. And over the years, Cards Against Humanity has continued to double down on that humor angle with oddball promotional stunts. Oh, there's more? What?
But wait, there's more.
I feel like somehow I need to
I must know more details.
I know. I have to. Anyway, including accepting donations to
To
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See? Look at her face. It's funny.
legal.
Look at it.
This week, Cards Against Humanity has embarked on its latest headline-grabbing side hustle, and it's a shocking non sequitur. They're selling clam-flavored mayonnaise called Clamonaise. I wonder if you can actually buy this.
It's sold out.
Good. Leave it
No
alone.
way.
Yeah, it's sold out in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, but then somebody turned around and put it on eBay. Buy now for $9.99.
They're selling it for like hundreds of dollars now.
See, I can find it on Black Friday deals, whatever that is.
You
It seems legit.
Why would you want that? That's just my
Surely
question.
you
like,
could just make something gross yourself at home.
like, that's my point. Thank you. Yes.
Make some clams into your mayo.
But you don't get a
I will be-
fry.
You can buy clam juice.
You could
I
win a
will be the
car.
first one to clarify. I love clam chowder. I love fried clams. I love just cooked, steamed, ready to go clams. Like
I do too.
I love so much seafood. This sounds nasty. This sounds like some kind of clam
you
discharge
taste it.
that you should never have near your mouth
Not
ever.
clam discharge.
I mean, it's just
That should have been the
bad.
magic
It's
word.
For our writer that did the mermaid sequel, maybe.
Ooh, this thing
Downward
shows
sweater.
me stores that have it in stock,
Downward.
and it says here that there's one in Marysville. Well, that's not that far from here. Oh.
You're insane.
Oh, wait. I wonder if there's any. Oh, no. Come back here. Are there any near where you are?
Who? That's not very specific.
Because I will never. I would never.
I'm just saying that it says that it's there and in the store. It looks like a Target store, but I'm not entirely. I don't know. I might have to look into this. Anyway, launched exclusively, at Target. For $9.99, Clam Mayonnaise is billed as the world's only tangy, garlicky mayonnaise made with real clams. In a
Ew.
tweet, the brand further explained, we worked with a team of chefs and food scientists to bring you were they chefs that graduated at the bottom of chef class, to bring you an actually delicious mayo made with real clams.
Gross.
Inspired
You know
by-
what? I would try it.
You don't have to.
Who said that?
I would try it.
You would try it?
I would try
You have
it.
to pay me a lot of money.
You know, I was at first I wasn't on board, but then they said garlic, and I was like,
Well,
Garlic in your
Throw
mayo.
some garlic on it and Aladrin will try it.
I like garlic too, but add garlic to your mayo.
I
Please.
feel like it's one of those things though, where it's like dip fries in your milkshake. Ew, gross. And it's like, well,
I could
you
see
know.
somebody spreading it on their salmon and baking it.
ooh, salmon bagels.
Oh, that could be good. Like if you did like a bagel sandwich with it or something. That could be tasty. I guess I would try it too. And I think if Ion was here, he would probably try it because he always will try everything. Ion is always up for everything. So
I think I would honestly try it if I just didn't know the name. The name is what's disturbing me right now from it. I was like, because I do. I love clams, like I said. So, like, maybe if I was like, oh, this is so good, and so I was like, oh, it's clam mayonnaise. I'm like, oh, well, maybe this thing is amazing. But like
Okay,
to
so
just know it, you're like,
okay, so here's the deal. So it does say, like, I'm looking at, oh yeah, it is. It's target.com. So I'm looking at the proper website. And it does say that in Marysville, they have they can have it ready tomorrow for pickup inside here. I actually will, I'll stop sharing the article for a second. I'll share with you guys. Where is it? So you guys can see what I'm looking at.
I don't want to see it.
You can have it drive up. You don't even have to get out of your car.
I know, right? So you guys know how this works. It's
you don't even have to get out of your
$9.99.
car for
If you want
clam
us to taste test this on the show, then hit the super chat button. We only need $10, and then I will go and get the claminaise, and we will taste the claminaise live on stream. So, yes, and I'm not entirely sure how we could get some, but I might be able to just buy some and then ship it to you, Phoenix.
I'm not sure what would be
I'm
worse.
close enough.
You're
I'm
what?
not sure what would be worse.
What?
He said he's close enough.
I said I'm close enough by. I could be here. Let's
$50.
send it. Yeah. Just in a little refrigerated container. We're close enough. It's fine.
I'm not sure
$50.
what would be worse is if we tasted it and it was disgusting, or if we tasted it and it was actually good. I'm not sure what would make me more angry.
I love that you're taking the nastiest thing in the world and trying to make it edible.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. This is my point too. Like, clam sounds great, but not that way. It sounds wrong.
It's a Jurassic Park thing of like we thought so much about whether or not we could.
Okay, I'm coming back to the article here. But I'm not going to drive all the way up there to get it if that is not what anybody wants to see. So let's see, back to the thing. Although I would love to do it because oftentimes when we find these crazy weird things, they're already sold out and we can't get them unless we want to pay some ridiculous, redonkulous amount on eBay or something. So here we go. Article. Launched exclusively at Target. Yes, the world's only garlicky, bloody, bloody, blah. Okay, here we go. With notes of garlic, bacon, and white wine. It's like hitting the jackpot inside your mouth.
Bacon.
White wine?
Yeah, as if the clams were, sauteed in white wine. But I'm angry at whoever decided to use the turn of phrase "hitting the jackpot" inside your mouth.
That sounds like something else.
Yeah, so it does.
Now all of a sudden, clam discharge doesn't sound too far off, does it?
Pain.
Even if clam mayo sounds off-putting to you, die-hard Cards
It sure
Against
does.
Humanity fans may want to pick up a jar anyway.
No.
Each one contains the game's Oh, that's right. There's a prize inside, so then we actually can open it up and get the
Oh
prize
my
inside.
God!
Come on, guys. Yes. All right.
Why do I feel like this is just getting more and more
This
absurd?
is amazing. Thank you so much.
For the claminays.
Yes.
No, I'm nasty.
Thank you so much for making our most likely next live stream or the following one terrifying for us all. Thank you.
I didn't volunteer. I'm not doing it.
It may take a minute if I have to actually snail mail some to get so that Phoenix can get some or whatever. Because if I'm gonna do that, then I guess I would want to send you your own jar. Obviously, I can't open it and then put it in the mail.
Just put part of it in a Ziploc bag and
I have a little
in the mail. You're
Tupperware.
like, it'll be fine. It'll be
It'll
fine.
be fine. It's just mayonnaise.
I have a little
Just
Tupperware thing that my
lamb.
kids usually use for little dipping sauces. We can send some in that.
With
Okay.
ice.
So
The keyword is I want this refrigerated if you're sending it. We're talking about a seafood. Seafood should never be more than 3 days. And you're telling me that they've somehow preserved it where it can sit on a shelf without being in refrigeration? This scares
I mean,
me.
it's mayonnaise.
But it's clams.
It's mostly
still
mayonnaise.
seafood.
but mayonnaise also has to be refrigerated once open. Each one contains the
Once
game's
it's
own
opened.
Yep.
clam pack. That's what I want. I want the clam pack of Cards Against Humanity along with
Can we just buy that instead?
Nope.
Nope. Ruby wants you to suffer.
And I know
Free
you
mystery surprise submerged inside the
submerged
mayonnaise.
deep inside the mayonnaise.
Oh, it's
Whoever
deep.
eats the
Excuse
whole
me.
jar gets to keep the clam pack.
The company continues, we actually hit a unique prize and a pack of 30 all-new Cards Against Humanity cards inside every jar. Customers can win real pearls, claminaise merch, clam-themed vacations. What the heck
Clam-themed
does a clam
vacation.
What is that?
What is a clam themed vacation?
Are we going
I mean, I'm
Who's got
clam
Siri? Just
interested.
ask Siri.
I
I'm
am
afraid I
interested in
can't give you that
clam-themed
information.
vacation.
I
Hey,
want
Google.
a one-of-a-kind
Define
Toyota Camry.
clam-themed vacation.
What?
Here are the top search results.
Oh, nothing. I'm disappointed.
Ah, thank you. There we go. That's one jar for sure.
Wow, the
So-
exchange rate between US dollars and Icelandic kronars is terrible. Is your economy okay?
I mean, their government is way better than ours.
And they're just nicer out there.
So let's see. For the record, the whole thing appears. I really want to go to Iceland because they have elf school there, and I want to go see it.
I want
So
Go
and a whole bunch of cool other elf things there, and I want to go see those too. Let's see.
They're
I want to
very
see the Northern Lights.
What?
I
That
want
would
to see
be
the Northern
amazing.
Lights.
yeah.
Mhm.
Apparently, we
Ooh,
had
that'd
an
be good.
aurora borealis in Washington one year. I remember. Like,
We've had it
5
several
or so
times,
years
but it's really
ago.
lame. I want the like overhead, beautiful. That is my bucket list. It
I've
has to
seen it, and
be.
it legit looks like aliens. I can see why back in the day people were like, aliens? Yes, definitely, because I know it's what it is, and I still was questioning myself.
We should do a FAE News bucket list episode. Yeah.
Ah.
That
For
sounds
the
like
record, the whole thing appears to stem from an equally odd prank Cards Against Humanity attempted to pull last November, where they used a photo of a fake Hellman's Claminaise jar to try to launch a Twitter campaign, convincing the Mayo brand to bring back a product that never existed.
Just gaslighting a company.
Kind of hilarious. I approve.
Apparently, Cards Against Humanity felt that the joke got enough traction that the idea was worth revisiting. And yes, as bizarre as the whole thing sounds, it appears to be resonating with fans. Cards Against Humanity tells us that despite launching on Tuesday, Target is already low on stock at many locations and online. A Cards Against Humanity rep says, "We're working on getting Claminaise back on the shelves and online in the next couple of days." In the meantime, Cards Against Humanity says that fans can head over to clams.lol to purchase a wide range of Claminaise merch, which now I am compelled to go look at. Like, what is the Claminaise? There's more.
Okay, I'm going to see Claminaise merch. Just not-
Right. Okay. Let's see. In the meantime, no, let's see. What? It includes hoodies, hats, don't talk to me before I've had my Claminaise coffee mug, and Clammy Dick, a novel by Herman
Clammy Dick.
a 312-page book where they modified the full text of Moby Dick to be 100% about clams. What? Okay, here we go. Like, this is.
God.
I want to read this book.
Can I just
mean,
say I've missed this? I've missed you guys.
I know.
I know.
I would love to pay money to go hang out with the people who make Cards Against Humanity. They would be so funny.
Right?
you can
I
get
agree.
clam jammas.
Oh my god.
Hey, anybody out there who works for
I
Cards
like
Against Humanity
I
who'd
like
like to
the
be on our
tangy
show,
cap.
get a hold of us.
I would like that. That'd be so cool.
What?
These are honestly not terrible, though.
You
But-
can do
You
it.
can do it.
I mean, they're funny people. I can imagine their merch would be pretty.
Yes, we clam.
And Clam we trust.
This is too funny.
I believe.
I believe in
mayo
mayonnaise. Mayo self, yeah.
self. Let's see.
I clam do
Clams
anything.
Against Humanity.
Clamps you calamity.
Claim
Here it is. Oh, I'm buying this. I am absolutely buying this.
Clammy Dick.
Wonderful.
That's going to be a thing. I've got to. Yep, that's going to be a thing.
That's always yourself.
A new
Thank
edition.
you, colleague.
Yeah. This is some weird Cthulhian clam rising out of the sea here. Do we actually have a Clampter one? This is so excellent. I can't wait. I'm gonna get it. Okay. Okay, and no jokes about bearded clams.
Plenty of
I
jokes.
bet a clam-themed vacation would be a trip to Ivar's Acres of Clams. And what's Acres of Clams?
I mean, that would be pretty cool to see. Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, I've been to the Ivar's that's on the waterfront. But what's
I think Cobble's referring to the Acres of Clams as like that they actually have floating docks out there where they have all their seafood that's growing. So that you can like you can grow clams and oysters on ropes and seaweed, like just hang out in the middle of the ocean. You can also do the same thing with a floating dock and completely secure the inside with a net, which is where you have your your farm raised Atlantic salmon and Pacific salmon. Mm-hmm.
I
Learn
do
something
know
new.
so much about clams.
I know a lot. My nickname in high school was Brain because I know a lot of random, stupid, useless information that
I
would never
coulda
be pertinent.
That's
I
the
could have
best kind.
sworn you were about to say something like my nickname in high school was like, the clam.
The clam.
Clamicula.
It is definitely after 8:30.
My nickname in high school was the clam. Yeah. No,
Clam jam.
I never want to be called that.
You never want to be called, what was that? Clam jam? Clam and jam?
Clam jam.
Clam
This is
jam.
anything clam sounds horrible.
The Clam Clan.
Clam.
Speaking of username.
That's the name of their full restaurant on the waterfront. I did not know that.
Oh,
actually.
interesting.
So
Okay.
that makes sense. I also didn't know that you could grow clams on ropes. So I guess there's also that. You know, I'm without Count Morbid here, I get
Oysters.
mocked so much less on this show.
It's his job, though.
It is kind of his job. I guess.
Are you feeling left out? Do we need to pick on you so
No.
you feel better?
No. I'm okay for now.
So you've got those Sunday bored in the sweatpants pictures of Lolly, right, Stormy?
What? I do?
No, I just wanted to see Lolly's face. What? How do you have the
I
Nope.
was like, what pictures of her butt? I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
There are pictures of Lolly's butt on the news, in fact.
What?
That's
Oh,
true. Yes. My backside made it into the Las Vegas news.
I was watching the video and I was like, wait a second. I rewound it and I was like, I know that butt.
I'd recognize that backside anywhere.
Those wings are unforgettable.
Oh,
How
love
did
you
I miss
guys.
that?
Thanks for recognizing my backside.
I remember you informing me of this story at your most recent visit over here in our Lilac City. Yes.
What?
Oh, Phoenix is out there in the Barony, Lilac City. That's the human name is Spokane. Their magical name, their enchanted name is Lilac City. Like
Okay.
Portland is the city of roses, and Seattle is the Emerald City, and I don't know what your city is called now, wherever you are.
The owls, the grasslands. That's all I know.
The dust. The dusty
Kingdom of
city.
Grass, but your actual city, like
Oh yeah.
Do I need to make one up?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would have to go do a little research to see if I can find its official enchanted name.
Ooh, yes.
Most cities have one unless they're too small. What?
It is time for a quest.
Let's see. No, I'm looking for another article. It's 9:28, but I kind of want to read one more article.
I'm down.
The Snoopios.
There's so much going on with Nerf. Holy smokes.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just wow.
I think I submitted articles about least favorite Halloween candy or most favorite Halloween candy by state. If you want to
I
stick
did.
with
I saw that one.
So, as a question to everybody, just because I want that now, what is your least favorite candy and what is your favorite candy?
Ooh, least favorite. That's actually hard because most candy is actually like pretty good.
I like gummy things. Peach rings.
I feel like it depends on my mood. You know, you're in a mood for different things. Like sometimes you want caramel, sometimes you want peanut butter, sometimes you want chocolate.
Oh yeah, that time of the month. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time I usually want chocolate.
I don't like peanut butter M&Ms.
I like Reese's Pieces.
Me too.
Reese's Pieces are pretty good, but
In-
peanut butter
in
M&Ms,
popcorn.
it's because they have an actual nut in them. Oh, also Almond Joy. Don't like Almond Joy.
Oh, I love Almond Joy.
Almond Joys are amazing.
I don't like coconut.
Fair enough.
When I put it in my mouth, it tastes bad.
It tastes bad. That's why I don't like it.
That's how I know.
When it's outside my mouth, it tastes fine, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Mine is real simple. When it comes to like the least favorite, I don't like the circus peanuts, nor do I like Peeps. It's just something about that
Ew, yeah.
texture.
Take 'em.
I just
so-
don't like them.
It's more chemically than candy.
Yeah,
That's the
no.
problem.
Circus
Mhm.
peanuts. Nope.
But we're like a
It's like
nostalgic.
styrofoam.
Do I have to pick like in like the grocery store kind of candy, or do I get to pick like my favorite fancy candy? I mean, my
It's
No,
your
all-time.
favorite
no.
candy.
I mean,
No, the
are you
real
still
candy.
buying that fancy candy from a store? Because therefore, it's still a grocery store candy. Just saying.
No, it
Well,
comes
no,
from,
it
like,
depends on
it comes from
whether-
like a little chocolate shop, a candy like
Yeah,
candy shop.
like a.
It's
Like you
it's-
actually okay. Well, what is it? I guess yes.
It's seafoam, or some people call it honeycomb candy, dark
Oh, I
chocolate,
want
of
to
course.
try that.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Ooh.
Oh,
about.
it's so good. The texture is just like,
I want to try.
oh. If next time I go up to Port Townsend, I will buy some and send it to you.
I will pay for it. It's like for real. Sounds like something.
Do you want milk chocolate or dark chocolate, or one of each? Okay.
I'm very into textures.
You should totally make a trip to
Oh.
Port Townsend because I haven't
No.
been up there in forever, and let me know if the Owl restaurant, that little small bistro, is still there or not. Because that place was amazing.
Ow.
The Owl Bistro, you've never been to that one in Port Townsend? Oh my god! So it's like literally on. So you know where you can get the ferry to go to the island, right? It's
Yes.
just right there. Okay, so like literally one block up from there and right to the left, so more towards the cliff edge of the side of the road. On the back end of the property, like literally the back end of this brick building, is just this tiny walk-in bistro. It's no bigger than maybe like a studio apartment, but they have amazing food. I had a Reuben there, a toasted Reuben. Oh my god!
I love
Oh.
ribbons.
Oh, it's so good.
Like, no more.
That sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm definitely. Hey, let's all do a FAE trip.
FAE trip. Woo.
Well, I usually do that for my birthday. I really like going up there for my
I
birthday.
need to meet some Fae out here.
Hashtag when's your birthday?
March 28th.
Dag nabbit.
Okay, so right when it's starting to get nice out. So yeah,
Exactly.
Whoa.
let's do it.
No, like there's just an article that I kind of want to read because I want to see what it is. And I'm not sure. But there's like a good pair of articles that I kind of want to have them go toe to toe as well. Dag nabbit. It's like, it's okay. It's terrifying AI images create what the scariest people on Earth look like. So it's like AI's interpretation of what the scariest people on Earth look like. And I think that sounds like just super fascinating to see, but I don't know what to pair it with. Like I don't have
Just read it then.
I think I'm gonna because it's after 9:30 and I just want to see there better be some dang pictures is all I can say. Because after that header, if there aren't, I'm gonna be angry.
I think it's like that one program that takes a creepy rendition of like two people and merges the picture together to see what they look like. And it's like, Jeffrey Dahmer and I don't know what other famous serial killer there is, but then the merge it together and you're like, oh.
I cannot unsee you.
Man, any licorice covered in chocolate? That's a thing. Wow.
Ew, what?
Try it.
I was reading people in the audience like what their favorite candies were.
Is that like a thing in Iceland? Oh no.
What am I looking at?
That was a great picture. That's a face only a mother could love.
This is like when people are like, "Look how cute my baby is," and then they show you something else. Like,
Oh, let me take a look at the. Oh,
He's a little old man.
Mama.
Warning, graphic images. An artificial intelligence image generator gathers internet data based on keyword prompts, which can sometimes create stuff of nightmares. No kidding. Okay. A series of images have been mocked up by an artificial intelligence generator to show what the scariest person on Earth might look like. And the results are quite disturbing. Formerly known as DALL-E, as in like Salvador Dali, as in like Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali.
Yes, we named the two snails on my snailer. It's Vincent Van Snail and Salvador Dali.
They are adorable.
Let's see. Technology company Crayon used its AI kit to create a collection of distorted zombie-type faces by sifting through unfiltered data on the internet. After being prompted by a few keywords, the generator then uses the relevant information it has to create images such as these warped portraits. Why is this a clickable link? What do we have here? Oh, okay, I don't know. Let's see. Many of the nightmarish faces are bald and often with bulging eyes or huge disfigured mouths and teeth. Ew. It looks like somebody has a skin blanket thrown over their head.
It looks like Sasquatch.
It kind of does.
What's happening there?
I mean, are these supposed to be serial killers, or did someone just spend the night in a haunted house? Like,
yeah,
they just woke up in the middle of the night and caught that.
Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter. It's not the first time that this same technology has been used to make up some uncomfortably creepy pictures based on various users' questions. Ugh. Earlier this year,
Oh,
what the? Its one eye looks like a cow pie. Earlier this year, a TikTok account called Robot Overlords, which regularly considers what the future might look like, posed a question to the AI generator of what a selfie would be like on the last day on Earth.
Oh.
Yeah. The output given was a handful of gruesome pictures showing disfigured humans that looked more like mutants seen holding up mobile phones against an apocalyptic backdrop of fire and smoke. However, despite the sometimes very realistic and unsettling images that Crayon is capable of making, the company is aware of the potentially harmful nature to society some of its creations could cause. That doesn't even look human. It looks like some weird lizard. Ew.
Something I'd seen in a video game.
Yeah.
Looks like a Star Trek alien.
Yeah, it does kind of.
It states on its website, while the capabilities of image generation models are impressive, they may also reinforce or exacerbate societal biases. Because the model was trained on unfiltered data from the internet, it may generate images that contain harmful stereotypes.
Oh.
The extent and nature of the biases of the DALL-E mini model have yet to be fully documented. The company goes on to say that work is ongoing to analyze the effects of the AI's limitations.
So I'm just going to throw that out there. Are they saying that the AI is racist?
So
internet is racist.
There is an interesting thing where Microsoft made a Twitter bot and people purposely kept sharing like alt-right stuff with it and made the AI really racist.
What?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
That was a few years ago. Something like that happened.
People.
Yeah, it is. I'm just reading your string of comments, Cobble. It's just oh man. Okay. So it is 9:39, you guys. We did go over a little bit in order to look, and I feel very satisfied that those were in fact really weird and creepy. So I wasn't let down by the pictures in that article. But now I'm excited. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to go buy that claminaze, and also I'm gonna get that book as well because I can't clammy dick.
Clammy dick.
But I just thank you guys if you enjoyed the show with us tonight.
See, that should have been the magic word right there.
No,
Clammy dick.
I veto that. Hands down. Please hit the like and
But it's a
subscribe
book. Don't have
button.
such a perverted mind.
You know what, Phoenix? No. Also, this weekend is the Samhain Dumb Supper, so we will be at the Rutledge Farms. You guys, you can find links for that for the RSVP for the Facebook event page that we have. You can find that there, and also you can hop on our Discord if you have questions or anything about it. And we hope to see you all there for our LARP and potluck and all of the regular things that we traditionally do for Samhain here in Yon Fae realm. And then I guess with that said, that's pretty much everything I think I've got, at least for now. Remember to get your coloring contest pages in, and also next week, we didn't decide, are we dressing up as whatever we want, or are we all going to dress up as versions of each other?
I don't have any other.
I think that needs more planning.
Yeah, that needs way more planning. Like
Okay,
April
so
Fools.
dress up as whatever we want then.
Yeah.
But costumes next week.
I like that.
Absolutely.
All right, for Cyber Samhain. Yay. All right, then I guess that means that it's technically your line, Stormy.
Do we all want to pretend to be morbid and get close and do this? Because I'm down.
Stormy claimed it already. Sorry.
Oh.
Go away.
All right, that's why they.
Hello and welcome to FAE Productions. We hope you enjoyed our show with your host, Fairy Princess Ollie. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you had fun with our FAE crew. Don't forget to click that little bell icon to get notifications of upcoming shows. And if you're looking to support your fellow FAE, fly on over to our Patreon. Links